Today we're going to plant this garden bed. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Chai-Ming. I'm a garden designer and educator here in Los Angeles, California, and I'm excited to share with you what we're doing in the garden today. So let's get started. This is all ready for planting, except now we're going to have to prep it a little bit better. There's holes down right here you can see because my dog jumped in it. So we can chat while I get this ready. Kira. This is not allowed. Hey. The other day, I added new soil and I also added compost into here. So I have a lot of plants that I wanted to plant in here. You can see my dog helped with all this soil. She dug a big hole and now I'm just moving things around. Let me grab a tool real quick. So when I'm gardening, I always have this hori-hori with me, and it is a fantastic tool to break up these clumps like this real quick. When you are doing that, when you are prepping the soil, you want to be careful of your irrigation lines. If you accidentally nick it, you're gonna have a leak. And then that's a whole nother thing you have to fix. So don't want that. Okay, now let's just kind of even it out a little bit. I've been a little bit out of commission with gardening because I tweaked my back. I'm of that age now. So we are almost ready. So I do like to set my lines a little bit before I start planting. So I have to straighten them out because my dog, she pulled them all up. So here we go. Straighten this a little bit. Here are some of the plants we're gonna plant today. So I have parsley, I think she trampled on this, so we'll do our best. But this is wild mesclun mix. So there is, I think, pak choi. I smell arugula in here, it smells fantastic. I wanna do some edible flowers like these pansies. They're great for pollinators, especially when it's winter and there isn't as much going on flower-wise for the plants. I always plant alyssum in my gardens. I love the different colors. Alyssum is fantastic for beneficial insects. They'll come and visit your alyssum and also then help you maintain your garden. I always add some onions. These are Walla Walla onions. They've already been started at the nursery. So onions are a great natural pest deterrent because a lot of insects don't actually like the scent. Then we also have, this isn't going to be the whole bed today. I think we'll continually add some winter greens and things like that for today. But I'm going to add herbs in here. So here's some tarragon. Then I have some sage, so it's going to smell really great. And then I'm not planting this in here. If you don't already know, this is mint. This one is called The Best. Right there, you can see the tag it says The Best. And the thing is, you don't want to plant mint into a bed or the ground because it will simply just spread everywhere. A lot of gardeners make this rookie mistake, and that's okay, but you will be paying for that mistake for a long time. So this is actually going to go into a bed that's on concrete and it can't spread anywhere. So I have Moroccan mint out there already. This I'll add and it'll be a little mint garden type of situation. Then here I have pizza thyme. It's literally, I don't know if you can see that. It is a thyme that smells just like pizza herbs. Now I also have a lemon thyme, would be really great for chicken and other veggies. So put that one in here. And I also have this plant, I don't know if you'll know it, it's called stevia. It's a sugar plant. So basically, those of you who use a sugar substitute called stevia, this is the plant right here. And it is not the season, but I saw it at the nursery and I had to get it, and you bet, basil, everyone's favorite. This one is one of my favorites to grow of types of basil. It's actually called Prospera Italian Large, and you can see how big the leaves are. This is just a little 4-inch. There's 1, 2, there's 4 plants at the bottom, you can see. So we're gonna plant that. I'm not gonna separate it because it could damage the roots, and we'll just plant this out. But we have to figure out how to keep my dog out of here. Okay, so I told you about a few of the plants, and now I'm gonna do also some seeds. So this one is a watermelon radish, really cool. It's pink on the inside with a green rind, and that's why it's called a watermelon radish. And yes, my gloves don't match. I often can't even find my gloves, so at least I have gloves today. Now we have this type of radish and then this one. These are 2 different Korean radishes. They're fantastic for kimchi. This one grows really fast. These ones can get a little big. So both of these varieties, you can eat the greens and the root. This is more for pickles, like kimchi. And then this one, you can do kimchi, but you can also make it into a really yummy soup. This one you could probably do soup, but they are smaller. They're unique that they have a little bulbous section at the bottom, but these taste really great raw as well. So when the weather is cooler, root veggies do fantastic in our climate. And today is actually one of those odd days. It's about 4 o'clock, I want to say. So you can see I'm losing light, but it is winter for us now. We finally have consistently cool weather here, where our days are sticking right around the mild mid-60s, and then the evenings are in the 40s to 50s. That way veggies like some of these leafy greens and root veggies don't bolt. I also forgot, there is one I didn't show you. This one is called Komatsuna, and it is a Japanese mustard green. It's fantastic in salad when you pick it a little younger, and also really great as a stir-fried veggie. I also have used it in like an egg scramble, kind of like they call it Japanese spinach, and so you can use it as a spinach substitute that's a little bit sturdier than your regular spinach leaf. Okay, so I'm gonna start getting planted. So I'm gonna move some of this out of the way. Oh, I have one more thing that I'm gonna also plant. So I also have dill that I'm gonna plant. I typically start dill from seed, but I want a head start. I will do some additional sowing of seeds around it so we can have a lot of dill. Now, first things first, I need to clear the space, fix the soil again, because I noticed over here my dog actually got into it as well. And we're gonna have to figure out how to block her. But we're gonna put these over here. My shovel. Oh, and look at how pretty these pansies are right here. It's so cute. And then I got the one that has yellow right there. I actually got myself a little flower press for Christmas, and I'm going to pick these and put them into the flower press because why not? Okay, let's move these over here off to the side. Okay, so I do have my lines. I want to stretch them out a little bit better because my dog, again, I can't believe she got up in here and was messing around with it. I'm kind of watching her. She's behind the camera right now. Hopefully she doesn't knock you over. But here we go. This is in. We are in. Things are good. Since I'll likely use my herbs the most, I want to put it on that side because my house is behind you on that side. So for my herbs, I have thyme and thyme, right? And then this is a clump right here. I also have parsley. Now I don't need all 6 of these, so I will be planting maybe 2 of these cells, and then the rest I am going to bring to the school garden I teach at. So you can see this one is really root bound, and when it's like this, I'll take my hori hori and just give it a score like that. Just kind of cut down the side a little bit. Can you see that? just cut like this, just to tear it up a little bit. Parsley is one of those plants that it can tolerate this. Not all plants can do this. I wouldn't do this with basil. It's a little too tender, but you can definitely do that with parsley. So let's just stick this guy right here. We'll put him right there. Okay, now I want to give these guys a little bit of space because they're going to be perennials and I'm going to not replant a lot. I would like for this to be an herb bed, just something that I don't have to do a lot of maintenance, looks pretty, and I can easily pick some flavor and go cook. So I got one parsley. Let me grab the other one. Again, this one is a little bit root bound. So again, we're gonna take our knife, we're gonna cut that like that. Just give it a little slice, okay? Now again, don't do this with everything. So in this section, I'm just gonna put it right here next to the other parsley with maybe about 6 inches of spacing, 8 inches of spacing, so then they can get big and bushy and take up this one section. So where I live in Southern California, parsley can actually be perennial. So this might still be here next year and the season after, all of that. And that definitely goes true for thyme. So this pizza thyme has a little bit of a trailing habit. So I like, when they have trailing habits like that, I like to plant them right on the edge of the bed so then it can lean right over. So I'm gonna dump this guy out. You can see right here, dig a little hole, and we're going to put that one right there. I actually don't like that it sunk so much right there, so I'm going to backfill with some soil instead of letting it sink all the way down, okay? And this looks like, this might, I don't know if this strawberry will come back. So I reused soil here in a pot that had strawberries and it didn't do so good. I forgot about them. So these are kind of dead. They may come back. I'm not quite sure. It's looking pretty dead in there, but I'm gonna leave this over to the side. So this is my pizza thyme. Don't forget the tags. Put them right here. And reset that. Okay, now pizza thyme is in. Now we're gonna come over here and do my lemon thyme. Now lemon thyme has a little bit of a more upright growth pattern, but it still kind of trails a little. I'm still gonna put it on the edge right here, you can see. Now I just give it a squeeze. So this is also a little root bound. You can gently pull, just a little, not too much to upset the plant, just to help it get settled. And dig a hole, put it in, make sure the lines are right there. So for my drippy middle lines, I actually really like these 1/4 inch size. They are 6 inches in spacing. So then we put some of those herbs in. Let me get my dill. So dill, this one's a little short. It's gonna get bigger, whereas thyme is actually kind of short and it won't get that tall. It might get a couple more inches, but that's about it. So I'm actually gonna stick towards the middle because I know it's gonna get taller and I don't want it to overshadow the thyme or anything else I'm planting. So that's why it goes in the middle. Also, dill can get really, really big. And this one is also root bound. This time of year, it's a little slim pickings at the nursery because most places are not growing as much. And so production is a lot slower. A lot of people don't realize we can actually grow a lot in the fall and winter in Southern California. So until they keep up, we'll have to do quite a bit from seed or just not get so picky on what we can do. So over here, let's grab my other herbs that I have. So I have sage, forgot to tell you about my sage. So I have sage, tarragon, stevia, and basil. So my basil, I'm gonna put it, basil can also get pretty big. I'm gonna put it in this one section right here to the side of, right there, of my dill. So I always take my hands like this, put it between the roots. I don't know if you can even see that. There you go. Kind of? I don't know. I'll have to see when I edit this. But you use your fingers to support around the base of the plant, and you turn it upside down and take it out. That's the best way to not damage your plant and give it support and also have full control, because then you just drop it into place, move the soil around. Don't forget your marker. And it's planted. Okay, moving on. I think I'm gonna leave the greens over here. Let's go stevia. I'm not gonna use as often, but let's see. This can also get quite large, but I know my dog is gonna try to eat it. So let's see, I might put it back here. No, she's gonna reach over here. So probably on this side. Let's go over here. Move things around a little bit. Okay, so stevia, you're gonna go right here. And while I'm down here, I would say I really like tall garden beds because you don't have to bend over as much. I'm just squatting down and you can see this garden bed is quite tall. I'll give you a close-up in a little bit. Okay, so now we have my sage. Let's see, where should we put the sage? I think sage, let's move it down here. We'll go onto this side. Move these guys so you can see right around here. I'm just going to create a section. This one is called Chef's Delight. Smells really, really nice. It is a young plant. Most sage is actually propagated by cuttings. And here, I'm gonna just drop that guy in here. Okay. Tuck it in. Nice and tucked in. We got some rain overnight. Not a whole lot, but just some, and it's really made it nice to plant. Okay. Now we have almost all the herbs in. I have one more. I have tarragon that needs to go in, and we can put tarragon, let's say over here, because tarragon is a little short, and this won't typically get too tall. This one is French tarragon, and I mean, it says it'll get to 36 inches, but we will be harvesting, so I don't think I would actually let it bush out, but it has the opportunity to do that right here in this corner. So we're gonna go right here. And I don't know if you can see it, but I have my 1/4-inch drip line right there, and I have it tucked right next to the plant. So I know it's always gonna get a few drips when the water turns on. Okay, so collect my pots as I go so we don't have a big cleanup at the end. Let's see what else we have over here. Okay, so I think I'm going to put my leafy greens right here on the end. So I have 12 plants, or 12 cells. There's sometimes more than one plant in each cell, but that's over there. Move these guys. And then I'm gonna scoot you over so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so we need to plant these guys. I just have a little solar light. It was extra. Feels kind of nice to have an entrance to the back of my property. It's not that big of a property, but makes it feel a little bit bigger. So I always use this hori hori. I'll drop you a link if you're interested. You can read more about it. But I just dig holes in here, and I actually emptied an entire pot in here and did not break it up. So that's why I have to use this right now to break it up a little bit. I want to say this is about 3 or 4 years old, so the edge is not as sharp, but it is still pretty sharp. You can do some damage. So I'm being really careful to not slice accidentally these drip lines right here. Okay, so I actually just like to pre-make my holes of where I'm going to plant my plants. I get the question often, can I use my soil or do I have to throw out soil every time? Do not throw out your soil. Unless you know that it's diseased, don't throw it out. You can rejuvenate it. That's what I've done by adding new compost, adding new soil to the top. That's how you can give it a boost. So we're gonna just plop these guys in. They are a little bit trampled from my dog, but we're just gonna wish them well, tuck them in, and hopefully they survive. Put that one there. This one is arugula. That one did not get trampled, so we're good. Okay, looks good there. This is the extra parsley we're not planting. I'm gonna plant my pak choi, or actually, sorry, this is the Komatsuna. These can get really tall and big, so we're gonna plant like this. And just for frame of reference, the sun goes from that side over my greenhouse to the back. So east, west. And that's why I'm going short in the front and tall in the back in terms of placement of the plants. So here's these. I think I can actually squeeze, oh, there's 3 left. So I'm gonna squeeze one right here. Hopefully my dog doesn't reach over and try to eat it, but we'll see. Here's this. One more right here. Okay, so most of the non-flower edibles are all planted. So we're talking about my mesclun mix, my Komatsuna, basil right here, smells so good. Parsley, I have pizza thyme, lemon thyme, dill, stevia, tarragon, sage. And now I'm gonna sprinkle some flowers to make it pretty. That also gets the pollinators and beneficial insects to come in different parts of my garden. So anywhere I see kind of an empty spot, I like to pop a little guy in, just like this right here. Okay. And over here, we have some more spots to do the same. So in between perennials like this is a fantastic option as well to put a plant, because as these are kind of small right now, it looks a little empty. But when you put a little flower, you're good. So put that in there. Just to pretty it up a little bit. Another good one to add is nasturtium. That would do well right now, but you would typically do those from seed, and I need to go check what seeds I have. So there's that. Okay, so I did my pansies. I'm gonna add a couple of these really pretty colored ones because I just love this wine Merlot color. It's called Majestic Red and Rose. So I'm gonna put that over here just to give it a little something. And then on this side, I'm gonna start off with some alyssum. These are small now. I think they are really great along the edges to tuck into your garden, but so sometimes when they grow, they have a mounding habit, but they can kind of trail a little over the edges. So I tend to put these in pockets that are close to the edge to give it that chance. So I planted 3 of this kind of, what color would you say? It's a little bit magenta, kind of plum. And then I have the white and dark purple lavender mix. So I like this one. We're gonna put some of these. That's my neighbor. Okay, over here. And of course, we can't forget my onions. So with the onions, I have an entire cell. Let me bring this a little bit closer. Like this, you can see a huge cell. Now, this probably has like 20 or 30 onions in it. And without making too much of a mess, I'm going to kind of divide it. Just gently divide it, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna do that a couple times. Because this right here, you can see, is still another, I don't know, 15. We don't need to plant 15 onions side by side because they won't grow well. So I'll just do a little bit. Ideally you want 3, but I don't want to also break them because they are so little. And I'll just tuck them in all the different little nooks and crannies I have because they work really great as a pest deterrent. And I tuck them in between a lot of my greens and the rows between them. And if they bulb up, great. These are actually Walla Walla, but if they don't, that's okay. I can use them as greens, make them into onion powder. Let's see. And they might bulb up. I've had them bulb up where I totally forgot I planted them, and I got pretty good size onions. It was pretty exciting, not gonna lie. So that was one cell that covered this entire section, but I'm probably going to take another one. I'll probably save these for the school garden, for the kids. They'll like that. And then over here, again, pulling them apart and just finding a spot to tuck it in, like so. And just in different little areas. In between the perennials is a great one. The bulbs will create more space as well as they expand. And this one back here. Okay, so onions, everything's pretty much planted, but I just remembered we have to do the seeds still. So let me bring you closer and show you how I'm going to do the seeds. So let's bring you over to that side. So seed time. Okay, I'm gonna come on down. And when you are at this level, let's check my soil. Here's my 1/4 inch drip line right here. There we go. So when it comes to germinating for seeds, every seed germinates a little bit differently, but most seeds, I would say you can generalize and say, don't let it dry out. So we're gonna do this watermelon radish first. Just rip off the top. Now for this, I gotta take off. I always start gardening with 2 gloves, but I always lose them. At some point, I can't stand it. So here, so these seeds are really, really tiny. I don't think you could even see that, but let me see if you can see me pouring them out. So each one of these teeny tiny seeds are going to turn into a radish. So I make it really, really easy. I just make a little trough right here Okay. Again, now I'm going to lose this glove. Now you can see on the back of the packet, but you don't have to always memorize it. These, you can plant them basically 2 to 3 times the size of the seed in terms of depth. And then for spacing, this one actually says 12-inch spacing. This bed is only 8 feet wide. If I did 12-inch spacing, I would have 12 radishes. That's not gonna happen. So we're actually going to squeeze them a little bit closer, and I'm actually going to plant 3 in one spot. 3 to 4, because honestly, sometimes they don't always germinate. These are fresh seeds, so they most likely will, but and it's from a great reputable brand. But if you're dealing with older seeds or seeds that you're not quite sure of the origin, a few extra in the hole doesn't hurt. But I've made a trough, and I'm actually just gonna drop a few as I go down the line. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. And I tend to thin as I go, as they grow actually. And let's see. I don't want to touch the soil. Fine. We're gonna make another trough right in front of it, and the same thing. Usually by this time, I've lost my patience, taking all my gloves off, and it just slows me down. I also just start to sprinkle the seeds and get done, because clouds are rolling in. I don't have a whole lot of time. So you always want to make sure that you don't have any seeds stuck in the bottom. There's 2. Okay, we're good. Now, so we'll compost this or recycle this. We have these 2, and I'm gonna just do it really, really fast. I'm gonna have them over in this section. Oh, I forgot to cover my seeds. Okay, so all I do, it's so easy that I'm trying to explain it in a more natural way, so it's really easy for you to do at home. Make a trough, sprinkle your seeds, and now just cover them. Don't even sweat it. It's gonna be okay. All right, now that I have my hair all up in the dirt, okay, let's move over to this side, and I'll move you down too. Good so far. All right, we're over here now. So in this little section, let me just tear off the top. And these actually have a coating to help them sprout a little bit better, so they're hot pink. Also, so you can see them better. And what I'm going to do, these are the smaller ones, so I'm going to make a little trough just like this. You can see, make my little trough. I don't want this. So trough, sprinkle the seed right there, and cover. Okay, and I'm actually going to do some over here, like here. I don't think I'm gonna have space for other things in this bed, but when these guys are done growing, just cover gently. And then on this side, I think I'm going to save the larger ones for another spot, because I've kind of spaced it. I've kind of filled this up. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. All right, here, over here, same thing, make a trough, continue, sprinkle the seeds. Okay, and then I think I have a little bit of space here, a little space there. We're really just gonna cram all this in because I don't wanna save these. So, here we go, over there. And here's the thing, if a critter comes along, or my dog, or birds come, they might eat some of your seeds. And that's why I tend to overseed and then thin, and it's never really been a problem. So that's that. I'm gonna grab the hose. We're gonna water this real quick. I always recommend using a watering wand. This is a dram. This makes the watering so much nicer for your plants. It's like a little shower instead of a torrential rainfall. So as you can see, it's more gentle. I've got to squat down here for you to see it, but just like that. Go around the plants. Don't water on top of the plants because they actually don't like to be wet, especially at night. During the day, they'll dry off with the sun, but at night, especially avoid the leaves. Another reason why you want to use a watering wand, it doesn't wash away all your seeds because it is so much more gentle than a spray or something like that. So, just go like this, in between, you can see right here, you go in between the plants. And I want to make sure that everybody has a really good drink of water. So I'll do this probably twice. I'll go over one way, make sure everything gets an initial watering, initial drink of water, just kind of to take down the parch a little bit, the thirst, whatever you want to call it, and then go back around. I don't want to go over the seeds too much because it might actually wash them away, even using a watering wand. So I need to finish this side. There you go, right there. And there you have it, a little winter gardening with me. We planted some herbs, we planted some greens over here, and some seeds. Thank you for gardening with me, and I'll see you in the next one.